Welcome to this video and welcome to our channel. We really appreciate the support you are giving to us. Please continue supporting us by watching our videos and also commenting in the comment section. This is Easy Learning Z, where we have the motto which is saying the future is bright, because we believe when we do the right thing, the future is going to be bright. So for you students or cadets out there who are about to write the exams, please, by doing the right thing will help you to do well in an exam. So one of the things you can do is subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, so that you don't miss any video that we make. Easy Learning Z is tackling questions that we are starting with those subjects that are deemed to be difficult by the cadets. So we are doing mathematics, science, English, and those are very cardinal subjects. So when we talk about science, we're talking about all the sciences, that is biology, chemistry, physics. So just subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to be helped on how to deal with these subjects. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to look at the paper that was prepared by Examination Council of Zambia, and this is the examination for General Certificate of Education Ordinary Level, and this is Biology Paper 2 Theory for 2020. Okay, and the syllabus is 5090. Okay, so I'm going to go through the questions and give you the correct answers. Remember, these are suggested answers. If you have got other answers that can be, biology, there can be a lot of answers, but I'm going to be giving you some of those answers, and you should master them so that when you go into an exam, you can use them in an exam. In this entire paper, definitely there will be a question that will come in this year's exam. So just through with us from the beginning up to the end. Okay, without wasting your time, let's go through the instructions. Okay, so the additional material that you need to go with in an exam, or that will be provided, is answer booklet. So you'll be provided with answer booklet. So make sure that you follow the instructions as we go through them. Whatever you need to write you are going to be told what to write on the answer booklet as preliminaries from the instructions. Okay, so the entire paper should take you about 1 hour 45 minutes and it carries 80 marks. Okay, so the instructions to the cadets are as follows. 1, write the center number and your examination number on every page of this question paper and on the separate answer booklet. Okay, so you need to write your examination number and your center number on every page of this paper. Okay, and also on the separate answer booklet. Okay, number 2, there are 10 questions in this paper. So they are telling us that there are 10 questions. We're going to answer 10 questions. No, they have just told us that there are 10 questions in this paper. Okay, but for me, I'm going to answer all the 10 questions. For you guys, you need to follow the instructions. Okay, so instruction number 3 is section A1. Section A1, answer all questions. 2, write your answers in the space provided on the question paper. Okay, so for section A, your answers will be on the question paper. Okay, section B, answer any 3 questions. Write your answers in the answer booklet provided. Okay, so for you in section B, you just answer any 3 questions. Okay, question 5 or instruction 5 is, at the end of the examination, fasten the answer booklet used securely to the question paper. So after you write the answers, you make sure that you ask for a stapler and staple them. You fasten the papers together properly. Make sure you do it the right way. If you need the assistance on this, you definitely ask for it. I'm sure the invigilators, they'll be there to help you. Okay. Don't feel shy to ask for assistance, as long as the assistance is not about asking for questions or anything that you can read to more practice. The people around you, they will be there to help you. In fact, the reason why we are there as invigilators or supervisors is to make sure that you do the right thing. You write the exam under correct conditions. You don't feel threatened. You don't be scared. As long as you are doing the right things, even if the invigilator comes closer to you, don't be scared. We want you to do well. I'm a teacher today. We need the replacements. After I retire, there should be someone who should come in and take over the mantle. So please feel at home, but do the right thing. Okay. Enter the numbers of the section B questions you have answered in the grid on the bottom right side corner. Okay. So you write your number of questions, okay, you have answered. Okay, so after you have done that, then information for the cadence. The number of marks is given in brackets at the end of each question or part question. You are advised to spend no longer than 1 hour on section A and no longer than 45 minutes on section B. Okay, so they are even telling us the amount of time we're going to spend on section A and section B respectively. So it's a good thing. Okay, and then cell phones are not allowed in the examination room. So don't go with a cell phone. Please don't go with a cell phone. So make sure that you just go with the pen and the paper, the pencil and the rubber. You know, biology, they may ask you to draw something. So you need to go with a pencil and the rubber. Maybe you also take a ruler. You may not know what may come in an exam. So you also take a ruler. Maybe it might be of use. Okay, depending, but you just go with the entire set so that at least you are equipped for any question, so that you don't fail to do what you are supposed to do. Maybe the question needs you to use a ruler. Okay, now I've gone through the instructions and the information for the cadence. So now let's go straight away to the questions. Okay, so we start with the section A. So section A, they are saying it carries 44 marks. Remember, section A is carrying 44 marks, and the instructions are as follows. Answer all the questions in the space provided on the question paper. Okay, so we are going to do that. So now let's start with question 1. Figure 1.0 shows a plant cell. Okay, this is a plant cell. So they are saying name the parts labeled A, B, C. Okay, so what is A? Okay, so we can name A. This is A. The part A is vacuum. Okay, that is the part A is vacuum. Okay, what is B? I'm sure B, we know that is nucleus. Okay, that is nucleus. What is C? So if you take closer look at C, C is pointing this second line inside this cell. So that is the cell membrane. That is cell membrane. Okay. Okay, those are the parts. So we can come here and say name the parts labeled A, B, C. So we can still write the same words. So we have A here, which is okay, so it's giving me an opportunity to copy. So I will just type. Okay, so we are saying that is vacuum. Okay, and here B, that is nucleus. That is nucleus. C, that is cell membrane. Okay, so those are the names of those parts. Okay. Name the organ in the plant in which figure 1.0 is found. Give a reason for your answer. Name the organ in the plant in which figure. So the organ where this is found, this kind of the cell is found, this one, it is found in the leaf. In the leaf. Okay, so what is the reason for my answer? So why are we saying this is found in a leaf? This cell is found in the leaf. It's because of it contains chloroplast. It contains chloroplast. Okay, so I can say because it contains chloroplast. Okay, so we go to the next question, which is describe two adaptations of the cell in figure which enables it to carry out its functions. Okay, so the first one is when we look at this plant, when we look at this cell, it has got regular shape. It got a regular shape. This shape increases the surface area that helps it to trap sunlight. Okay, so because of its regular shape or rectangular shape, or the shape we can see here, which makes it to be to trap sunlight or to increase the area, and with that then it helps to trap sunlight. Okay, and that sunlight will be in abundant because the surface which is trapping sunlight is big. So one, we're going to say it has a regular shape that makes cannot makes, but that increases, let me say that increases the surface, where I'm rushing to, surface area of a leaf. Okay. Now we know that photosynthesis takes place in a leaf, and one of the functions that the leaf does one of the functions that the leaves do is to trap sunlight. When it traps sunlight, then it uses sunlight to break down water and carbon dioxide to form oxygen and the energy, okay, which in turn the plant uses the energy, okay, for its growth. So so one of the things why it has got this regular shape and big in size, one of intentions of that is it wants to trap sunlight, and when the leaf is trapping sunlight, that means the leaf should be at least broad enough so that it can trap enough sunlight. So my point here is it has a regular shape that increases the surface area of a leaf, so which helps it. Let me just reduce the font so that okay, I hope it's visible to you. So that it can trap enough sunlight for photosynthesis. Okay. So that is one reason why the leaf will have broad it's going to have broad surface area, is so that it can trap sunlight. Okay, that is the bigger reason why the leaf will have broad surfaces for it to trap sunlight well. Okay, I hope the way I've written you are able to see. If you are not able to see, then you can ask in the comment section so that I can also explain more. But this is the correct answer. Maybe let me just lift it a bit up like this. Okay, this is the correct answer which you can give. This is one reason. So for it to trap sunlight, it's going to do that if the green pigment is in the leaf. If the leaf has no green pigment, I'm sure I have done experiment on testing the importance of the chloroplast, chlorophyll, the presence of chlorophyll. What happens when the leaf has chlorophyll and when the leaf has no chlorophyll? What happens? Does it manufacture energy? Okay, so when we discovered that during those times when we looked at that, we discovered that chlorophyll helps the plant to trap sunlight and to make sure that photosynthesis take place. So meaning in this question we asked to describe two adaptation of the cell in figure which enables it to carry out its function. So for it to carry out photosynthesis, it needs to have chlorophyll. So one of it is the presence. So one of the adaptation is the presence of chloroplast. Because chloroplast is the one which is directly involved in trapping sunlight. Okay, so the presence of chloroplast helps the leaf to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, We go to the next question. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, basically these are the answers. Okay, so we can go to the next question, which is question C. Explain what would happen to the cell in figure 1.0 above if it was placed in a test tube containing distilled water. Okay, so when we talk about distilled water, this is the water you get after. This is the water that contains nothing. This is just pure water. Okay, it contains nothing. So what will happen when you put it in the distilled water, in the pure water? So what will happen is the water will start going into the cell. Okay, so what will happen is water will enter the cell through osmosis. So the water will start entering the cell. So when you put the cell in the test tube where there is water, that means the amount of water that will be outside the cell will be higher than the water that is in the cell. So if the water is distilled, that means it's pure, it has no nutrients. So that means it has nothing mixed in the water. That means the cell will be more will have higher concentration than the water. Okay, so that means now the water will start moving from the water will start going into the cell to dilute the cell sap that is inside, which is concentrated. So that means the water will start coming into the cell in order to dilute the what is inside. So there will be water that will be flowing from the test tube outside the cell going inside, because the solution that will be found in the cell will be concentrated than the pure water. As we are told, the distilled water, this is the pure water, it contains nothing. So that means it will be sucking the water. Okay, I hope you are getting my explanations. If you have got questions, you can still ask in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond to you. We go to the other reasons. Okay, so they gave us 2 marks here. That means we need to give 2 reasons. Okay, so the other one is what will happen to the cell. So now, since the water will be moving from outside the cell going inside, that means there will be lot of water into the cell. There will be lot of water that will go into the cell. That means the cell is going to become turgid. Okay, it's going to be bulged, it's going to suck in a lot of water, and then it is going to be bulged. So we can say the cell will become turgid. The cell will become turgid. That means the cell is going to become bulged. It is going to have lot of water inside and become turgid. This is when this happens and the cell is inside the plant. That means even the plant will become firm. Okay, it will stand still because it has got a lot of water, so it will become turgid. Okay, the cell will become turgid, and this usually happens that if it's in the plant, that's why we see plants standing on their own, big firm. Okay, and They can stand the pressure of the wind because the cells inside them, they are touched. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comments section. So basically, if you give these answers, that means you are going to get the 9 marks for this question. Okay, so we go to question 2. And you should remember that as you are answering questions, you also continue putting your center number and your examination number in these boxes. Okay, so that if any paper gets touched from the bunch of papers you have fastened together, they'll be able to identify easily the one of the of the paper. Okay, so we go to question number 2, which is figure 2.0 below shows the internal structure of a tooth. Okay, so that is those are the parts. So we ask to 1, we study the diagram, then we go to the questions. So name the parts labeled D and E in figure 2.0. Okay, above. So I'm not going to write here because I saw I wasted time after naming these, then I came and named them down here. So I'm not going to waste time doing that. So here D is this one. What do we call this one? This one is this one is called it's called navy ending. It is called navy ending, or you can even call it nav. You can also call it navel cell. These are option answers that can be whichever answer you write among the 3 I've mentioned. Let me just try to, you can also just call it nav. Also navel cell. Okay, so these 3 answers will be accepted. Navel cell, nav, or nav ending. These 3 answers. So anyone who writes either nav ending, nav, or navel cell will get the answer correct. If 3 individuals write these 3 different ways, all of them, they are going to get a mark for it. Okay, so we go to E. What is E? E is denting. So it doesn't matter even if you read it as dentine. What is important is the spelling. So this is the correct answer, denting. Then number 2B, explain what happens to the part labeled F during tooth decay. Okay, so what happens to this part? So this part F is enamel. So this part F is enamel, the hardest outside part of the teeth. What happens during tooth decay? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about why do people experience tooth decay? Why tooth decay happens? Okay, one of the reasons why tooth decay happens sometimes is lack of taking care of your teeth. Okay, so what do I mean here? Okay, for instance, if you don't brush your teeth, then there will be bacteria that will be accumulating in your mouth. Okay, why are bacteria accumulating in your mouth? Because there are some food substances, sweet substances. Even if we eat in shima, we don't feel the sweetness as we eat, we don't taste the sweetness, or the enzyme does not taste sweet. There is the carbohydrate in those food we are eating, like enzyme, sweet potato, rice. Those they do contain carbohydrate. So the bacteria will want to feed on those remaining foods in your mouth. Mostly they remain in between the teeth. Okay, so when they leave those food stuff remain between the teeth, that means that's where the bacteria will come and start eating that. Then they will start forming acids, which starts eroding the enamel and then cause tooth decay. I don't know if you are understanding what I'm trying to say. So the question we are asked is, explain what happens to the part labeled F during tooth decay. So what I have explained is what happens. Okay, so we can say, how can we write it? So we can write it like this. We can even write the same. I'm trying to come up with the shortest explanation that can be easier for you to remember in an exam. So let me say bacterias okay, bacteria act on the foods that remains in the mouth in between teeth acting between, which means in between teeth, and produce acids that erodes the enamel. Okay, so the bacteria act on the foods that remain in the mouth in between teeth and produce acid that erodes the enamel. So basically this is what happens. So when you eat the food, not all the food is swallowed, more especially the small particles that goes in between the teeth. Even if we can see that our teeth are closed, packed, they are close to each other, and there are some smaller food substance that tend to live in between the teeth. So it's very important that immediately after eating you brush your teeth. You make sure that when you're brushing you have enough water to cleanse, so that whatever you have maybe shaken in between the teeth can also be removed. Okay, unless if there are some questions. If there are no questions, we can go to the next question, and this explanation can earn you 3 marks. Okay, so this is how cavity is also formed. Okay, so loading the enamel, loading the enamel. So I can say which result into cavities. Okay, that is the answer, and it's going to earn you 3 marks. Unless otherwise, if there are no questions, then we can say this is the answer that you are supposed to write if such a question comes. Unless if you have got questions. So we go to question number 3. Look at the shape of the teeth in figure 2.0 above. Suggests the role it plays in the digestion of food. Okay, so we're going to go back and look at this shape. When you look at this shape of the teeth, when you look at it, this one is telling us that this is a molar. This is the molar. And what will be the function of the molar? So the function of the molar is to grind or crush food. So the function, the law of this, when we talk about the law, when we say a law, we're asking for a function. So the law or the function of this teeth is crushing or we can also say grinding, crushing or grinding food. Okay, so that is the function of this teeth. Okay, so unless if you have got questions, if you don't have questions, we go to question number C, 2C. Complete the human dental formula below by filling in the missing numbers G, H, J. Okay, so 2, okay, and this is before you even put the answers, because we need to identify this is the dental formula of a full-grown person. Okay, so of a full-grown person, this is the dental formula of a person. So what is G? So G here, okay, so the value of G is 2. H down here, it's 1. And so we are saying the numbers of canine here, it's on top 1 and down 1. Okay, so we have gotten 1. We have written 1. Then we come to 3, which is J. So J, it is also 3 on top and 3 down. Okay, it's only that here the owners who are uploading the papers, they have written where they're not supposed to write. Okay, anyway, let's not bother with that. So the correct answer there is 3. Okay, so as you can see, every question is giving you 3 mark, 1 mark each. So that means there are 9 marks in this question. So if you give those answers I've shared with you, that means you're going to get 9 marks. Okay, we go to we come to question 3, which is figure 3 figure 3.0 below shows a section through a nephron. Okay, so this is the nephron. So we need to start. Like I said earlier on, I'm not going to be labeling these parts because I'll do the same thing twice. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the question, but before you go to the questions, you need to make sure that you study these and you also take note of the parts marked, okay, by the letters or by the names if they are named. Okay, and then you go to the questions. However, you should keep on going back to the diagram and we go back to the diagram. Immediately read the question, you try to identify the parts by going to the diagram. So the question 3A is name the parts labeled J, K, and L. Okay, so the parts labeled J, the one that is labeled J, we go on the diagram and look at J it's here, and this is the part that is we are supposed to name. It's called okay, that is glomerulus. Okay, that is glomerulus. So I don't know how you pronounce it, but that is the part labeled there. Let's go to K. What is K? That is Bowman's capsule. That is Bowman's capsule. K is Bowman's capsule. So we write that as Bowman's Bowman's capsule. Okay, Bowman's capsule. That is the one which is labeled K. We come to what is the part labeled L. L, that is the correcting tube. That is the correcting tube. That is the correcting tube. L, correcting tube. Okay. Let's see. Let's go and write there. What is it? Correcting tube. Sorry, what am I writing? Correcting tube. Okay. It is also called tubre. Okay, it's also called tubre. Okay, so it's also called tubre. So we come to question B, which is suggest 3 substances that are not filtered out at J. Okay, 3 substances that are not filtered at J. So we said J, that is glomerulus. So what are the substances that are not filtered at J? Okay, so the substances that are not filtered at J, one, it's white blood cells. White blood cells are not filtered at J. Okay, the other substance that is not filtered at J is plasma. Okay, plasma, that is what contains the fluid that is in the blood we see. Okay, or that contains all the elements of blood, red blood cells, whatever. That fluid is called plasma. Okay, We can also say what else is not filtered at J is also blood platelets. Blood platelets. Okay, blood platelets. Okay, so those are also not filtered at J. Okay, so now let's go to question B2. Explain what would happen at J if the coiling of the blood capillary was increased. Okay, so what will happen? So when the coils have been increased, what will happen is the pressure would increase. So when the pressure increase, there will be more ultrafiltrate. Okay, so we can also just say the pressure will be increased. The pressure will be increased. Where am I writing? Okay, it should be here. That means the pressure will be increased, and I've written in everything in capital letters. I don't want that. Okay, so we're saying the pressure will be increased. The pressure will be increased, which will result into more ultrafiltration. Okay, which will lead into more ultrafiltration. Okay, unless if there are some questions, but basically that is the answer you can give. Okay, so we go to question number C. Name the hormone that causes the reabsorption of water in the kidney and the organ where it is produced. Okay, so the hormone is called vasopressin. Okay, it's called vasopressin, again in capital letters. Okay, it's called vasopressin, or you can call it ADH, which stands for A and then D antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so this is the hormone that instructs the kidney to reabsorb water. Okay, so where is it this produced? It is produced in pituitary or pituitary gland. Okay, pituitary gland. Okay, that's where it is produced. Okay, unless if you have got questions. So basically these were the answers we are supposed to give, and they are carrying 9 marks. So in question 3, this is, if you give these answers, that means you have gotten the 9 marks. Okay, we go to the next question. I'm trying to be fast as I can. I'm not even explaining in too details, but I would appreciate if you have questions, you ask in the comment section. I would definitely be glad to respond to your questions. We go to the next question, which is question 4. Okay, so question 4 is figure 4.0 below shows the external part of the human eye. Okay, so you take time, you look at the diagram and you identify the parts. Now I'm not going to be writing the parts on the diagrams because I'll be doing the same thing in the questions, which will be just a sheer waste of time if I continue doing the same thing. So the question 1 is name the parts labeled M and N. So M here is this the center black hole here. Okay, that one is called, we all know it, it's called pupil. That is a pupil. If you didn't know that, now you should know that is a pupil. And what is N? This is N here. So N is scalar. Okay, N is scalar. Okay, scalar. Okay, N is scalar. Okay, so the question is, now we go to question 4A2, which is explain how N is adapted to its function. Okay, how N is this one. So one, the explain how it's adapted to its function. So this one, it is opaque, so it is opaque. It is opaque in nature. I don't know what has happened. It should be opaque. It is opaque, which prevent light entering. It is opaque, that means since it's opaque, anything that is opaque, it's not going to allow light to enter. It is opaque, let me say it is opaque, meaning it does not allow light, it does not allow light to enter. Okay, so it's opaque, and since in nature it's opaque, it does not allow light to enter. That's why it's very difficult even as to see what is inside an opaque glass. You can't see what is inside, or you can't see the other side of the of the opaque glass. If the opaque glass is between you and another thing, then you can't see what is on the other side. Okay, unless if you have got questions, but otherwise those were the answer. The other one is it's opaque. Okay, so that means it is opaque, and it's opaque, it does not allow light. So these are the two. I can even separate them so that I can say it's opaque, it does not allow light. Okay, so I can do like this. Okay, so those were the answers. You can write it is opaque and it does not allow light. Okay, it's opaque and it does not allow light to pass through. Okay, we go to question number B. Describe the law played by M and O when a person moves to a room with dim light. Okay, so let's talk about M. M is what? It's a pupil. This pupil, when someone goes into a dim light, what happens? So when someone goes into a dim light, the pupil will become big. Okay, it's going to grow so that it can absorb a lot, or it can allow a lot of light in, so that the person can see clearly. Okay, so we say one pupil, M is pupil, we should know. So the pupil, we are going to say it becomes big, or to be specific, it becomes big, or we can say it widens. That is to be specific, it widens to allow lot of light in. So it widens to allow lot of light in, to allow a lot of light in. So what happens if you go in a dark area, your pupil will grow wide so that it allows a lot of light inside your eye. Okay, so that is what happens. Okay, so if you go in dim light, the pupil will become big. Okay, so when we come into an area where there is a lot of light, that means the pupil is going to become small. It will become small. Okay, so we come to O. So let's go and let's look at O. What is O? Here, O, this is the iris. Okay, this is iris. So what will happen? So we're saying what will happen to the iris? What will happen to the iris? Okay, so what will happen is the muscles will contract. Okay, the muscles will contract. So we can say which muscles are they going to contract? We are talking about radial muscles will contract. Radial muscles will contract. Okay, then when radial muscles contracts, then Radial muscles will contract, then the circular muscles will relax. Radial muscles will contract, then circular muscles will relax. Okay, circular muscles will relax. Okay. Okay, so now we go to question number C. So those were the answers you need to give, and they'll give you 3 marks for these. Okay. All right, we go to question number C. Explain the causes of short-sightedness and how it can be corrected. So what causes someone to have short-sighted, to be short-sighted, sorry? What makes someone to have short-sighted, to be short-sighted? Okay. This one. Okay, so one, there are few reasons why someone will be short-sighted. One, permanent oh God. So permanent thick lens. Permanent thick lens, one, would be the reason why this. So what it means is the lenses should be able to change. Okay, they should be able to change, but if they are permanent, then this could be one of the reasons. Okay, and the opposite will cause someone to be, I don't know how we can call it, just to be able to see things from afar. Those things that are near that person, he's not going to be able to see. I don't know if you have seen some people who want to read the book, they want to put the book from afar. That's when they will be able to see. Immediately they will bring the book closer to the eye, they don't see. Okay. So this way, permanent thick lens, we can also explain it like loss of flexibility. Okay, so if the eye loses the flexibility, let me just put this here. I'm going to put it in brackets, so let me just join with this one. Okay, I just then let me put it in brackets, so we can say loss of flexibility, loss of flexibility of the lens. Okay, so it's just become permanent. It's just like that, it can't change. Okay, so that is one reason. The other one is long or abnormal eyeball. Okay, so we can say the other one is long or abnormal eyeball. Long or abnormal eyeball will also cause someone to be short-sighted. So basically, these are the two reasons why someone will be short-sighted. Okay, how do you correct this one? So for someone to able to see from afar, what we need to do is we need to buy him or her spectacles that have got concave lens. Okay, so we buy, to correct that, you use concave lens. Okay, using concave lens. So we can say use spectacles with concave lens. Okay, I've left in here, I'm sure left in concave. Okay, that is use spectacles with concave lens. So you go to eye specialist. Don't just buy any spectacle as long as it has got concave lens. No, you go to the eye specialist. They try to test your eye or your eyes so that they see which spectacle and the kind of concave lens is suitable for you. I know they have got numbers, so they will be able to detect the number that is suitable for you. Okay, so these were the answers we are supposed to write for question 4. If you have got questions, like I said, what has happened? Okay, so I said by using, use spectacles with concave lens. Okay, so that they are able to help you to see from afar. Okay, so basically these were the answers you are supposed to write in your paper. So now let's go to question number 5. Okay, so question number 5 is, excuse me, lady green color blindness is a sex-linked characteristic. Okay, it's a sex-linked characteristic. Define sex-linked characteristic. So what is sex-linked characteristics? So sex-linked characteristic is seen as a result of genes or sex chromosome. Okay, so we can say so we can say sex linked sex-linked characteristics are characteristics that are seen are seen as a result of genes on sex chromosomes. Okay, sex chromosomes. Okay, though that is how I can that's how I can that is how I can define sex-linked characteristics. Okay, so if you have got another definitions, I would appreciate it if you write in the comment section. Remember, these are only suggested answers according to me and my English, the way I'm expressing them. Okay. Question number 5A2, what can cause sex-linked genetics disorder like the lead-green color blindness? Okay. So one, the thing that can lead to that one is radiation. Being exposed to radiation will also cause that. It's very dangerous. So radiation, when you're exposed to radiation, it's going to cause sex-linked genetic disorder. Okay. The other one is mutation, or the other one is mutation. The other one is mutation, so that will also cause that. The other one is the sudden change in gene structure. So the change in gene, so change in gene structure. The change in gene structure, so this could be the sudden change in gene structure. Okay, so basically these are the reasons, or these are the causes of sex-linked genetic disorders. Okay, so since they want one, you can pick one of the three and write it. So if you write radiation, the answer will be correct. Mutation, same, and this one is also correct. So we go to question 5B, okay, which is a normal couple had a colorblind son. Use the gene R for normal color vision and Y and small r for color blindness. Write down the genotypes of father. Okay, so the father, let me try use just to write. So the genotype of the father will be X, okay, and with normal, okay, normal color vision, then Y, okay, then the wife who has XX, okay, is going to have normal and normal color vision, and also small r for color blindness. Okay, so that is how the gene type will be for these two parents. Okay, so those were the answers you can write here. If you have got questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Now we go to the next question, which is using a genetic diagram